Arthur! Oh my gosh, you're coming! You're back! Almost.
We're back. We're coming.
The road is wet today, so be careful.
Yeah, we're coming.
5,600 feet studio.
Hey,
Arthur's
we
coming.
have a special guest. We're getting up there.
Well, hurry up. He's waiting. He's been waiting all afternoon.
Really?
Okay. William's coming in pretty fast. You better slow him down. If he hits that barn again.
Here he is. He's okay.
Stop!
All right, there he is. We made it. Everybody's
I'll give you a carrot. Wait.
He's not done running.
He's doing that in the barn.
Yeah. He's running around the corner. Hi, Gene.
Hey, Arthur, how are you?
I am good. How's it going?
Well, you're down there with the alligators, aren't you?
Oh, the alligators, as they say up in Boston.
Alligators.
Alligators.
Boston.
Yes, the Trek Upward
Well,
Radio.
we have a show.
Yeah,
we have a show for you.
We're doing two things. We're actually on the road with the Trek Upward Radio show, and so we're remoting in to the studio at 5,600 feet. Talk about technology. This is awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Very good.
Well, we have a show for you, folks. Tonight we have an amazing special guest. He is a Tibetan monk, and his name is, if I say it, I know I'm going to say it wrong, and he's just amazing. So you say
Lama Nyandak.
Nyandak.
He says it a lot better than
Lama.
I'll ever attempt to try to say that. That's for sure.
I was practicing all day long.
Welcome to America. It's good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank
Right.
you. Thank you.
So what do you think of America now that you're with the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Yeah, it is a wonderful country and different culture, and we have many different races in this country, and many different religions. It's a kind of very unique and very special country, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's unique, all right. Depends on who you ask.
So what do you see different in America religious-wise as compared to Tibet and where you have walked in life? And tell us about yourself a little bit.
Yeah, the differences, I think, is like East and West. There are a lot of differences, of course, in terms of the culture, in terms of lifestyle, in terms of way of approaching to the religion, and so on. And of course, there are a lot of differences around. And of course, if I talk about myself, I am, of course, Tibetan monk. I became monk when I was 13 years old.
Oh, wow.
And throughout whole my life, I've been gone through Buddhist training or study and so on. So then, of course, year 2000 onward, then I had opportunity to travel and exposed to the outside world and get to meet many different kinds of people, religious background, and celebrity, whatever you call it.
Celebrities.
So for the most part, would you say that, so the Tibetan religion, the primary Tibetan religion is Buddhism, correct?
Yes, correct, yes.
And what does Buddhism teach from the Tibetan standpoint?
Overall, when we talk about Buddhism, then there are three, you can say, division of the different kinds of Buddhism. We have Theravada Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, and Vajrayana Buddhism. So that the Himalayan region and the people who are in Tibet and Mongolia, they are following the Vajrayana Buddhism. The Vajrayana Buddhism is the supposedly related, or the practice which is related to the more towards the esoteric kind of practice. And those the people from China and Taiwan, Singapore, and Japan, they are following the Mahayana. And Theravadan Buddhism is practiced and followed by the Sri Lanka, Thailand, Cambodia, and those areas. And so we can say that there are three different sets of Buddhism. It is designed for different mental inclination and dispositions of the individuals.
How do the Buddhisms really kind of differ? You say it's because of the mental discipline or whatever, how it's focused. Is it mantra? Is it the prayer? Is it the application? What is different between them?
Or is it the consciousness of the people that are absorbing the teaching?
You are talking about the differences in between those three sets of the Buddhism.
Yes.
Then Theravadan Buddhism is, we can say that it is the foundational kind of Buddhism, and which is we said that Theravadan, or the lesser vehicle part of the Buddhism, is actually the focusing practice for self liberation. And Mahayana and Vajrayana, the kind of Buddhism, is liberating state of enlightenment for the, liberating entire other sentient being, other living beings,
And
rather than oneself.
Who identifies with the first one you talked of again, just for my...
So that one is depend on individual who sets of our own mind. If, let's say, we are practicing and following path of the Buddha, if we are focusing more towards the helping and the benefiting and the focus, if our practice right in the beginning, in our motivation, if, let's say, it is for the benefit or the liberate all the other sentient being, then that is the practice of Mahayana and Vajrayana. Let's say if individual who have a fear of this life, of suffering and so on, then focusing our own self liberation, then that is, we can say that the more like a Theravadan way of practicing. It is differentiation is made in terms of motivation and altruistic intention, how big was intention that you have benefiting other. Then of course in the practice wise also there are a lot of differences. When you talk about the Theravadan Buddhism is more to do with the practice on the Four Noble Truths and Eight Noble Paths, and practice of meditation, and of course these are the basic kind of practice. Then Mahayana is also more, you have a more advanced practice, whereas the Vajrayana practice is supposed to be one of the highest practice, and that kind of practice is somehow the designed for the people who has a most highest caliber individual. It cannot be practiced by the everybody, because this has to have a high understanding on the emptiness, and also it is said that kind of also very high risk in order to practice that. The result is also very effective. The risk also can be danger. It is said that individuals who are following the path of the Vajrayana, it is like the snake in the hollow bamboo. Snake in the hollow bamboo, either you can go up or down. You don't have there is a middle way to go out, which means if you follow properly and right way, you may able to attain enlightenment in within a single lifetime. If you misuse it and if you don't follow the right way, then you may end up in the lower rebirth, or you may end up in the hell, so on.
Wow.
So it's kind of like fasting 40 days and 40 nights, right? I mean, seriously, not everybody can do that.
Yeah, there are some practices in the esoteric that you have the inner heat practice that way in the how to say mountain, snow mountain, you don't have to wear any clothes.
Yeah.
And then with the practice of the meditation, then you also don't need to eat many days. Yeah, there are practices.
You live on prana.
Yes.
Yes. Wow. Someday when I grow up, I'm going to be able to do that.
We can make an aspiration prayer.
We could do that. I actually heard a similar story from my martial arts instructor who grew up in a temple in Busan in Korea, and he said the same kind of thing related to some practitioners there that did it too hard and ended up going down the other way. So,
Yeah,
he told me
that's
some
right,
stories,
that's right.
about how that worked out.
Well, you get caught in the astral plane or the, and it can create insanity, right?
Right. Oh, yes. That's
Yeah.
true. Those practitioners, when they reach more in the high level of the practice, then somehow if you don't know how to, properly still able to maintain that practice, then you may end up in the insane and crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's profound. So I would love to hear about your childhood, how you grew up, what Tibet was like,
And where you live
and as where you live, and when China came in, and all the things that you've experienced there. I know all of America is totally engaged in watching what happens in Tibet. Your country is so loved by most Americans that have any spiritual desire whatsoever. I mean, people drive around in their cars with bumpers that say "Tibet, save Tibet." Seriously.
Yeah, of course I grew up in Tibet, and the town where I was born, of course, hardly I have seen any technology in my life. When I was like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 years, I had not seen any technology in my life.
None
of things, and it's like a completely in the isolated kind of place. And maybe when I was like 10 or 11 years, I started to see then like Chinese the truck, and it's a kind of like scared me, because huge thing there with the two big eyes,
your dots.
in there,
God, yeah.
Wow, that would be scary.
I feel like stay away from there. It's I never seen like this in my life. That is supposedly the truck of Chinese army, actually.
How old were you when you first saw that truck again?
I think 10 or 11 years
Oh my
old.
gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
The vibration is what you felt. It's like, oh my gosh.
And I mean, like, never seen car. Never, of course, don't talk about anything else. Don't talk about any other. No electricity. And then maybe when I was like 14 or 15, then somehow the Chinese, they started to create the hydro, not really hydro, it is, what do you call it, use the water. So then
hydroelectric dam.
Yeah, it's for the light.
Yeah.
We can have a light for 3 or 4 hours on 3 hours at night. So after that they will switch off. the light, from the main generator of the light.
So that was like when you were 15?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. So
and then never seen television.
Wow.
well, that's good actually.
Yeah, you're not
Uh,
missing too
tele-
much now.
Television is beyond an imagination, and then we don't have a phone. Yeah, so we have not seen television. When television came to in our town, uh, of course those few of the people, they used to have television, and then of course we are crazy about try to have the glimpse of that, and
So you were excited about the television?
very, very excited.
Okay.
And then of course you can watch only 2 or 3 hours, because after that you won't have the light. Electricity is not there anymore.
Electricity's off, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so we don't have the 24 hours kind of the light. So it has been going like this for until when I was 18 years old, and then at the age of 18 years, then I left Tibet. I escaped from Tibet to India, crossing the mountain.
Did you walk? You walked?
I walked.
How many
So-
miles was that?
Wow.
It is a pretty, I would say you would not really look really far, but somehow you have to cross the mountain, and all the way to the Nepal, and then from Nepal then you have to enter into the India without any document, without
Oh my
any
gosh.
permit. So you have to hide in, and you have to just go and like throwing target in the night. You don't know where you are going. Direction also you don't have, but you will ask people and then walk.
Wow.
Goodness.
So do you live in India now?
Now I live in Nepal, but
Nepal,
I have
okay.
been since year 2000, since year 1991 throughout until 2000, I was in India,
Wow.
and from there onward, then I have been traveling a bit, and of course I based in Nepal now.
I saw a picture of you with the Dalai Lama. Where does he live? Does he live in Nepal? Does he live?
Now you live in India. I 2 years ago I went to see him, and I had audience with him. So during that time I took those photos.
I would love to know what he said to you.
Actually, there were a lot of people. Then
Oh,
didn't really get to talk to him, but of course I hold his hand, and then we took photo together, and that's it.
that's still sweet. Oh my gosh. 2 monks.
Wow.
Mhm.
Jeez.
2 llamas.
So, you said that you basically escaped from Tibet, right?
Yes.
So, you left in the middle of the night, I'm assuming, just whatever you could carry on your back, and off you went? Is that how that
Yeah,
worked?
it's like a week or 10 days. Myself and my friend, both of us, we have been planning
Right.
for find a way to escape, and we sort of like planned everything a few days. 10 days or a week ahead.
Were the Chinese being brutal at that time? What was your motivation to leave?
Actually, before I escaped, I have tried once already, and then somehow they found out, and then I was in jail for I think more than 10 days or 2 weeks, I think.
Did they treat you well? Or were they cruel to the...
It's not really that. They don't treat well.
Oh,
Gosh.
wow.
What motivates them to get in your, way when you're peaceful?
I don't know. I think somehow in Tibetan we have a saying that Tibetan live with the hope. Chinese live with the suspicious. So
Yeah, makes
Chinese is a bit suspicious in anything. So they don't, I think, escape from Tibet to India means maybe they suspect something. Maybe something is wrong, whatever. So I don't know.
Did you see a lot of destruction by the Chinese of temples and religious artifacts and things? Did you experience any of that by the Chinese?
By the time when I was born, of course, I have seen all the ruins, monasteries, and statues, I'm talking about my own the territory area,
Right.
which is western part of Tibet, and I see lots of ruins and you don't people are not allowed to practice. I think right. I think when I was born, of course, they are not allowed to practice at all. Then I think I don't know which year, 1970, which year somehow the Mao Zedong chairman Mao he passed away, and then maybe after 5 or 8 years from there, then somehow they give right to practice the religion, and then the people start to follow and practice Buddhism, and then from there onward, I think I would say from 1979 or 80 onward, then people start to reconstruct the ruined monasteries, and then they try to practice the Buddhism and so on.
Did they come back in and try to stop it again?
Of course, whether you practice or whether you build monastery, whatever you do, they have a certain rule and a regulation. You cannot have a huge amount of the monks in the monastery.
Wow.
They will set the number. Let's say you can have a certain monastery, you may have allowed to have 5 monks. Certain monastery maybe 21, maybe 80, 50, and so on.
Wow.
So they will set the rule for that.
Yeah, they don't want you to congregate.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well,
What do you
well,
feel the difference is when you're in Tibet and then you come to America and you see the way that we live? We're more free. What do you notice a distinct difference in environments, or do you have any comment about that?
It's my life is like I born in Tibet. It is completely natural and organic and isolated place from the world. It is
Nice.
like we hardly have a contact with the outside world. And then I'm talking about when I was there in Tibet, my time of the life. And then then I left Tibet to India, which is sort of like shocking to see. I wouldn't say shocking, but it's like there are many things that I have not seen, I have not experienced.
Oh my gosh.
Weather and the train and the aeroplane
Oh my gosh.
and all these things I have not seen in my life, and I get to experience and I get to see all this in India. Then I have been in India for like 1991 throughout until 2000, and then year 2000, then it is the first time that I have came out from India was United States, and I flew from Delhi by London, and then to Chicago, and Chicago to New Orleans, and then Alabama.
where
They
did
talk
you
kind of funny
where did,
down there, don't they?
where did you go in Alabama? I'm just curious.
It's like the fate or my karma, I think, somehow connected with the, I have a very good, like a Christian family. they have invited me to their home
Oh,
as a
sweet.
guest.
Sweet. That was probably culture shock.
It's a huge culture shock for me, and because of course I flew from India to when I reached in Chicago, it's like you know huge, and I mean it's like unexpressible what to say.
Right.
And then I still remember that from Chicago to New Orleans, then I took the American airline, and then I landed in New Orleans, then New Orleans to Alabama. It took like 3 hours, and then when I reached there, of course, they're very nice people, and they treated me very well. And the gap, the culture gap is like in Tibet. Any time when people offer you something, drinks or food or whatever they offer you, you tend to say no, no, no. I'm fine. I'm no. It's like they're very shy. But here, then one of my friend told me later on, in America, yes means yes, no means no.
Right.
Then I learned yes. It means that if you really want it, yes. If you don't want, then no.
Arthur and I are learning that lesson in our show. I'll say yes to him, and he'll say no.
Right. All the time. That's the way it works. That's the way it works. I have to tell you one thing. This story is just absolutely fascinating. I'm riveted by
It
your
is.
background, and the one thing that I have to tell you on behalf of America, welcome to America, and I will tell you one thing. Our country deserves a spanking for the fact that it did not help Tibet when it should have helped them with the Chinese. And I think, that we owe you an apology, and the people of Tibet a great apology for not stepping in when we should have. So, we certainly have our
But
prayer
that was
support,
also the
but-
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the government's
Yep.
decision. That was not the people. That's what I said. A lot
That's
of
true.
people have
That's
bumper
true.
stickers that say "Save Tibet." I mean, there was a movement, a huge
But
movement.
we should have stood up and made more noise about this. And
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
from
Yeah,
that
we should have.
standpoint. So I want you to know that our hearts are with you, and our hearts are with everybody in Tibet. And even though our government hasn't chosen the fact that they were going to support the cause of freedom for Tibet, we here do. So I want you to know that we all love.
And I think that's
Tibet.
because they did not want to go to war with China. And
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
China's
I
a
understand.
huge country.
They need.
We don't want to go to war with them now either, and they're messing with us.
Well, they still need a spanking. You can't do that and get away with
Yes.
it, So
Yeah, that's true. Karmic accountability.
exactly.
Yes,
Well,
yes, yes.
it'll come around at some point or another. They'll get theirs. So,
Yes, that's true. That's true.
yep.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, can you share anything else with us on that you think that American people would
Yeah.
just capture and love to hear from you?
Yeah. What message would you like to give to the American people now that you've seen what it is? What do you think they need the most?
I think not only America. I would say that almost every advanced country, we are sort of like so much materialized, and we are actually trapped in the delusion and illusion, and try to understand the life that we see, life that we have, is more like a dream and illusion, and try to overcome with that trap, which is we so much into the material world. For example, now of course I had visited many friends' house and so on. You have so many clothes, you have so many shoes, and some of those shoes and clothes you may not wear it for a few years. I don't know. So you should have it what you need. If you don't need it, you don't get it.
Right.
If you don't get it, then you don't have to make so much money. So the material world is created in such that you see somebody is wearing something that, and you kind of like it, and then you start to think, oh, I should have it. When you think of that price is expensive, and then you still want to have it, then maybe you wait for like a week or 2 weeks, and after that maybe you won't wear it. So you should have the things that what is necessary for you, and you should not have the things what is not necessary for you. And then that way we can how to say keep ourselves calm and peace, and with this peace then we can expand to our neighbor and our society, and then for whole world. This is how we can create the peace and happiness in the world. Bumper sticker of peace world won't going to help, you know.
That's true.
Wow.
You know, that is a message for a Taurus.
And yeah, well, you too. You're on the same cross. So
A Ruby Ray Cross, right? I'm a Leo. But I only have like a few pairs of shoes. You know, I'm working on getting rid of some of this material stuff. I really am.
oh,
That's
you
why
gotta-
we live here. We
yeah,
live up here at 5,600 feet, you know.
Yes. This
But
is
we don't need the house.
Yes,
The
that's
house
true.
can go. I'll live in a tent.
Oh,
Whatever it,
okay. Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
well, if that's what it takes to expand the capacity to love, the material things are keep people in the flame of worry. People worry, I don't have enough money to
That is so
meet
true. Yep.
meet my obligations, and all that energy could be going into be expanding your love, your heart,
Yes.
unconditional love, whatever, light.
That's true. That's true.
But anyway,
Wow.
we are so grateful that you have been on our show tonight.
This has been an awesome experience. Thank you so much.
It's been an honor. It has been an honor.
Yes, it's really wonderful for me to share my little bit of experience, but not the detailed explanation. I mean the how to say the things that happened in my life. But this is sort of like a brief.
Yeah.
But I was very.
Well, if you were staying
enjoyed.
here longer, we could do a part 1, part 2, part 3.
Maybe next one.
And then, I know everybody, all my clients, you saw, I put on Facebook that we were going to do a radio show with you.
Oh yeah.
And instantly, we got 80 hits. Instantly. Just people want to hear what you have to say. They want,
Okay.
Yeah, this is great. We'll work on it. We'll put it right up right away.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for coming. And if you have any questions, can you take questions from anybody? Like if I were to receive questions from our audience,
Yes.
can I email you and
Sure,
then you can
sure.
answer
No
and we
problem,
can
no
say,
problem.
oh, he said, and
Yeah,
we'll
no
have a
problem.
little dialogue going with everybody about it.
Sure, no problem. Anybody, anything that they have a question regarding life, experience, whatever they have.
So you can go to the tracupwardradioshow.com and leave a question, or you can go to astrologygenehart.com and leave a question, or you can go to prophecyisgiven.com and leave a question, and somehow we'll get that question answered for you.
That's right. And,
So-
yep. So you have Gene at the TrekUpwardRadioShow.com and Arthur at the TrekUpwardRadioShow.com. You have so many ways to get in touch with us. If you don't ask your question, you're the guy that's missing out. So give us your questions, and we'll get them run by, and we'll post them right away.
All right, Arthur, that's it for tonight.
Oh
and
man, we
thank
got a lot
you.
to think about and meditate on. Thank you very much. And wow, phew, boy,
William,
Got
could
a
you go
lot-
get that horse, please?
absolutely.
Go get the horse.
Lama
Get out of
Nyandak,
here.
thank
Go
you
down
so
to the
much.
mall.
Okay, we're
Thank
going.
you.
We're going down
Thank
to
you.
Immigrant Wall, so we're out of here, and we'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.
See you, Arthur.
Bye.
See ya. I'm going to Tibet.
Let Jean do an astrology consultation for you, your family, or your friends. Go to astrologygenehart.com or give her a call or text her at 1-406-599-3934. There are powerful spiritual tools available to help you deal with planetary and personal challenges, and these can be found at prophecyisgiven.com. And be sure to visit our website at the TrekUpwardRadioShow.com or stop by on Facebook at www.facebook.com/trekupward, and be sure to hit like on our page, or visit YouTube and search for the Trek Upward Radio Show. Be sure to subscribe so you do not miss another episode of the Trek Upward Radio Show. The Trek Upward Radio Show is a studio at 5,600 feet production.